Hello everyone, happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well this Friday evening. Looks like we already got quite a full house. We got Dave Ryder, the Tunnel Take, Monty 53 Piper, Big Dave, Bottleneck Piper, Corvette Jim, Backcountry Pipe, Ron H, Everett Young. How are you guys doing tonight? It's great of you to all show up. We got quite a turnout tonight, and I know why. You know, I'm under no illusion that this is because you all just decided to come watch me. You know, as you well know, yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of our dear friend John Harden passing. There was this fantastic idea from Greg Tunnel Take and Sarge and others to get together and watch John's live stream at 7 p.m. tonight, which I've really enjoyed. I hope you had a chance to do that because it was actually kind of touching to do it. And now, you know, this was going to happen anyway. We were going to have this live stream virtual pipe club, and we figured, well, why not just sort of carry into this and see where the conversation takes us. You know, and I don't really have anything planned. I thought a lot today about what I should do, and you know what I decided was I should probably just do what I'm doing right now. You know, so we'll talk, we'll figure out where this is going. If you guys want to talk about John, we can. If you know, whatever is on your mind. So we're just gonna have this as if it's just another Friday night, but with one particular thought in our minds, obviously. And any of you guys that missed out on the 7 o'clock thing, I mean, it was nice knowing that other folks were watching it at the same time, But please, after this, go and watch it, or tomorrow go and watch it. It was the January 24th live stream from 2020. It's worth watching. There's a couple of interesting things that I might talk about. We'll just see where the conversation takes us. So let's see. Smooth Piper Peter, how you doing? Pipes and Kayaks, hello Brad. Michael Chase, Volunteer Piper, B. Conrad, Signalman Tony, Portsmouth Piper, Paul the Piper. Hello Paul, I'm just fine, thank you for asking. Desert Pine Piper, Volunteer Piper, Boca de Boynton. Guys, I've already forgotten who I said hello to at the beginning, so forgive me. I think I got Ron H. and Everett Young. Josh Langevin, hello Josh. Chuck Dutry, Mark Tobacco Pipes International. The Durham Duke, hello there. And Steph and Skip Kane, how you guys doing? OWP, Doug Owen, hello Doug. Yes, Doug. That's one of the things that I was going to talk about this evening, if we went in that direction. But it really was ironic to see John towards the end of that live stream talking about other presenters that had passed. He obviously had no idea what was coming. In fact, he ended it by saying, and I thought this was kind of touching. See you next Friday. Hopefully, if all goes well. And little did we know. But yeah, talking about those people like Alan Kerslake, who I think it's important to remember that the YTPC, a lot of people kind of saw John as this anchor to the community, and he clearly was. But at the same time, the community existed before John. There was a YTPC before matches. And he was talking about some of those folks that many of you may have never seen. I mean, I saw some of Alan Kerslake before I started making videos, but by that time he had already passed away. And old Pipe Pops and some of the other folks that were mentioned. So it was really interesting to watch that tonight, and very touching. Let's see, Smokin' Briar, AA Pipe Man, how you doing, buddy? Cliff Higgins, hello, Cliff. And let's see, I think we already got you, Samuel Olson, but hello, Matthew Geis. Desert Pine Piper, Jim, hello. Oh, thank you, Doug. I really enjoyed the making that Bug Zapper video, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. Tamper Tantrum, hello there. How you doing, Jeff? XJ90X, hello. And I thought I saw somebody saying hello to Grandpa There he is, Grandpa Cavendish. Hello there, Ed. How you doing? Long time no see, my friend. Greg Folk, hello. So I wanted to, I made that Bug Zapper video, and I got a lot of nice comments about it, and I'm glad you guys saw it for what it was meant to be. But I got to tell you, the way I decided to do that, so I knew what story I wanted to tell, but I don't think I'm a great storyteller, to be honest. Like, I kind of rush through them, and I don't have very good rhythm. And I knew that I wanted to do something to kind of not mimic John, but just kind of in his style, so that people would get what I was doing. So I went and I picked out my favorite of I think, well, one of my favorites. How can you pick a favorite of John's videos? And the one I picked out was My First Smoke, and I love this video. It's the one where he goes off with some kids. He's like 11 years old, and he winds up smoking reeds in a bush. And I really love that. There's just something about his delivery in that video that makes me laugh through the whole thing. And the one that I love the line where he says, suddenly it got light inside the bush, and the leaves parted, and this kid's mom stuck her head in the bush. For some reason, that just makes me laugh every time. So I watched that video, and then I turned on the camera and I made the video that you saw for the bug zapper video. And I can't tell you, I've never had an easier time of telling a story. And it was really amazing how just watching that and keeping in my mind and paying attention to how John delivered the story, how much of an influence that was on me being able to do that. Not that I'll ever be able to do it again. You know, I'd have to get psyched up like that again. You know, I'm not saying that I've mastered something, but it was just interesting. He was so good at what he did that just that one viewing was able to kind of get me revved up to do it myself. And that was just one of the small, one small example of many videos that came out yesterday. I put some of them, you know, screenshots from some of them at the front of this video. And if you're joining late, please go back once the video this is over and watch the beginning just to see some of these screenshots. There were many more than I could actually get together in time for this, but so many people made videos about what John meant to them, what kind of man he was, and I guess that's what's really important. We've been without him for a year now. We remember him. We remember him fondly, and what our task is now is to think, you know, what has he taught us, and what can we learn from him, and where would he like to see us as a community be right now? And I think the answer to that's obvious. He wants to see us grow and continue to reach out to one another, involve one another, and just continue to expand the family. So that's enough monologue for now. Let's see, Kilted Piper Steve, hello. Arkansas Mike, how you doing, Mike? Piper on the 45. Armchair Piper, hello Ed. There's Big Dave. Big Dave always got a kick out of John's accent. Yeah, he had a unique. It was not just his accent, but it was his timing with that accent that I thought really made it special. Little Fat Morgan, how you doing, Todd? Yeah, the bacon old fashioned every 4th of July. Quite an experience there. Amen, Chad. That's probably the best lesson we can learn. Hello, Latakia Piper. Thanks for joining us. John was a friend. Be a friend, and Chad's absolutely right. That's probably the one lesson. If you could sit him down and say what's the one lesson you'd want us to learn, it would probably be that. Cornhusker Piper. Put a duck on the elevator. Yeah. You know, his work history videos, I think that was Josh that pointed out they were great. I was just in a really busy place at the time that he was putting those out, and I've honestly not seen those. I really have to try and catch up on them. Yeah, the rubber couch, of course. And there you go, Double A Pipe Man. I mean, how many folks can say that? Jeffers 58, hello. Wouldn't be making videos if it wasn't for John Harden. Absolutely. You know, Greg, Tunnel Take, that's something that's really hard to do, and honestly, I don't know how he was able to. You know, there's just times when I feel like I gotta say something. You know, I gotta get mad about something, gotta open my big mouth and start some trouble and all that. And he was just smooth sailing. And he told me once, I had put out a video that caused a bit of a stir, and He told me in an email that, these things happen, the same topics come up time and time again, and it's like waves, and you just have to wait for the wave to crest and it'll come back down again. And that really is the way to deal with it. But yeah, I wish I could be as chill. Ron Hardcrackers Ward. Hello, Ron. Yeah, the Phil stories were always great. Oh, Big Dave, I'm fortunate for that. Yeah, that was another thing about John. He always was shouting people out, and I remember the first time he mentioned me. It was back when I was first starting out, and I did a review of some tobacco or the other that he liked, and he said my name during one of his videos, and I was kind of creeping up in terms of subscriber count, and then John made that video, and I just went ping, just gained like double my subscription base in an hour after he said my name, and he liked to do that. He liked to grow the community. XJ, I might take you up on that if you're talking to me, because I do sometimes like to start some trouble. So if that's a safe place for me to come down and maybe I can get in a fight with Bender. All right, Mike, hurry up and get those chickens locked up. Couch, my friend, how you doing? Flatcat Piper, hello. Gary Edminster. Oh, Couch has once again been saving the IT world. Good for you, Couch. Ochoita. Oh, the boat anchor. Yes. That's a fantastic one. There you go, Cliff Higgins. When he said your name, your chest swelled out and you felt like you were 10 feet tall. And I think a lot of people, I've heard people say the reason they loved his live stream is they would go on and just wait for him to say their name. As crazy as it seems. What? Oh, oh. I don't want a pipe named after me. Thanks for the warning, XJ. Wait a minute, I wasn't talking about fighting. I was going to fight Bender, but Bender's a mailbox, so I'm not actually going to. I'm way past the point of being able to get in a fight. I just like causing trouble sometimes. I can hide in the lower 40, Steve. That's kind of you to offer. Yes, George, this is the Matches tribute pipe. I'm sorry, I should have started off with this. And I'm smoking Haunted Bookshop. Going to be smoking Haunted Bookshop all night. And I am drinking a bourbon and ginger ale. Bourbon highball. And it's in a sense, a sort of shout out to John because he always drank ginger ale. But I've failed miserably in two departments. One, I put bourbon in it, and I don't think John was much of an alcohol drinker. The other is my wife bought Diet Canada Dry, so I'm drinking a Diet bourbon highball. But at least we got the Canada Dry part right. Hey, Skip. Thanks for letting us know, Steph. Good to see you, buddy. The Night Piper. Good to see you. The One Simplex One. Hello there. Bass Piper. I think I got your name right that time. Curmudgeon Piper. I don't think I saw you earlier. How you doing, Doug? Oh, so we did have diet once. Boy, we got a nice crowd tonight, and unfortunately that means the stream is going by really fast. Cogs and Sprockets, Haunted Sailboat, Haunted Bookshop half, and Billy Budd half. I haven't tried that. Reed Bender Bud. And we got Patches Cellar. Hello, Patches Cellar. Good to see you. Black Phoenix. And apparently Tunnel Take and Boca de Boynton are moving to Oklahoma to yell at one another. I don't quite know what's going on there. Just save me a spot, Steve. Yeah, Doug, that's absolutely correct. It is the perfect tribute pipe. He liked the diet like it was bacon old fashioned. That's what I was afraid of, Ron. I mean, I got to admit, I've got enough bourbon in this that it doesn't matter, but it's not tasting quite right. Well, welcome, Benjamin. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you come back next week. We're here. Well, not next week. Actually, I'm taking the week off next week. But other than that, we're here every Friday. So, you know, hit the subscribe button and get notifications. Subscribe and thumbs up. Really important, guys. There's Skip, Perique Piper Skip. How you doing? Yeah, they're going by fast tonight, Skip. Oh, Couch, they're just trying to draw you in. Be very careful. It's a trap. Yeah, I know Backcountry Pipe. I know, but the ginger ale's there for symbolic purposes. A meetup would be wonderful. I haven't seen Sarge. Did he wander through? I know he's got to work tonight. Paul the Piper, is it possible to slow the chat? I don't know how to do that. Three of his birds are named Mike. Oh, you're kidding, Josh. All the Kinney pharmacies in Vermont are pulling tobacco off their shelves. That's okay, Steph. It's been an emotional couple of days. Very good, Benjamin. Thank you for that. Yeah, Tunnel Take, I haven't seen him. I know he had to work tonight, but he said he might try to stop in for a bit. All right, Cliff, thanks for joining us, and please give our best to Moose. $150, yes. Very nice crowd, B. Conrad. I'm happy for that. Yeah, it's a tribute to our friend John, and I don't believe it's anything other than that. There's Sergeant Savinelli. How you doing, Sarge? You didn't miss anything. We just kind of sat here quietly waiting for you. Yes, the Chimney meetup. So if you guys saw Sarge's video where he talked about this, him and I guess it was him and Brad Pipes and Kayaks and Mark in Rhode Island had this idea of doing a meetup at the Chimney in the park that John used to love to walk in, where he made many of his videos. And then Sarge said maybe some other people could come along, and they're going to hopefully do that in the spring when the weather is nice and hopefully all this COVID stuff will be behind us. And I was watching Sarge's video and I thought to myself, if that happened and we all go walking through this park and we get to the Chimney and we all take out our pipes, and it's going to be the largest cloud of haunted bookshop smoke that has ever been seen in the world. It'll be quite a moment. Yeah, Brad, if you guys really do it and you'll have me, I'll gladly drive up from PA here. Smoke clouds in space, yep. Look like a Grateful Dead concert. I'll tell you this, if it does happen, we got to set up a camera like at a distant location filming that area just so that we can see the cloud. Couch will meet up too, all right. Well, Steph, that was nice of him to do, and he was probably just caring and concerned that you might not feel welcome. There weren't very many of you back then. There's pressers few now, but there could be reports of a fire, Steve, yes. Get a drone. There you go, Tony. Incinerate pounds of bacon old fashioned. That's a good one, Doug. It's going to be really great when all this stuff passes. It's been a long time since I've been able to get together with a couple of pipe smokers. I mean, fortunately, I got a few friends. Jack Kurtz, who I haven't seen Jack tonight, but he may be watching. I really am fortunate that he's not that far away. He's close to Harrisburg and just like a 2 or so hour drive, and I can sit down and smoke a few pipes with him. But I'd love to get together with 10 or 15 other guys and gals and just spend the day. Brad, you're going to the river in this weather? Hey, Pipe Man's out of here. Have a good night, buddy. BJ McNeil, I do not know who that was. Young woman that mimicked John's accent and mannerisms. I'm sure he would have enjoyed it. Oh, Sarge, sorry, it's not on our end. It must be your connection, because everything seems to be going smooth here. So Doug's going to contribute a pound of bacon old fashioned to incinerate in the chimney. That would be beautiful, Doug. Yeah, I remember there was a somebody had a contest with John impressions, if I recall, Chad. So my match's tribute pipe is empty now, down to ash. So I'm gonna let this cool. I'm gonna stick with Haunted Bookshop tonight. I've been smoking nothing but Haunted Bookshop for 2 straight days, which isn't that odd, but I usually have 1 or 2 bowls of something else, and I haven't. And I'm just going to stick with that for today. We'll let that pipe rest, and I got this beauty to smoke. And I have not smoked this yet. One person out there will recognize this. This is a kind gift of my friend Couch of the Dunning-Kruger Show. And it is a Savinelli by Clafters. So I guess that Savinelli made these for Clafters. It's got the Savinelli logo on the stem, but it's got a Clafters label here, and it does not have a number. But it's a nice bowl, nice big potish sort of bent billiard, and I'm really looking forward to smoking it. All right, Sarge, we'll all be hoping for that with you. April would be great. God, I hope we're back to something close to normal by April. I don't know, Tunnel Take. You know, John had a great sense of humor. I don't think it's a problem. Yeah, Yardism's agreeing, I think. You know, he had a great sense of humor, and he loved it when people poked fun at him, and you know, with love. I don't think it's too soon to do that. And our buddy Eric, the blue collar pipe smoker, got in touch with me yesterday, and he said that he had to do one more of his infamous Photoshops, and he did a John Harden. He posted on Instagram. I don't think he'd mind me saying what it was. He put John onto Mount Rushmore, and it was funny and it was kind, and you know, he talked about how he really believed John belonged there, and you know, all that. And I saw it and I said, you know, I can just hear him saying, you know, that Eric made another one of his crazy Photoshops, and he would have loved it. And you know, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Here's the normal. Amen, Sarge. That's okay, Tim. We like you just the way you are. That's true, Night Piper. 100 pipe smokers gathered together is very abnormal. Oh, effort. Your pipe is empty? Amen to that, Steph. You know, it's I got tired of hearing all the, you know, 2020 is the worst ever kind of nonsense. Yeah, it was a rough year, you know, really rough year, but it was good in it, like there's always good. And I think part of it is kind of what we're experiencing right now. And we should recognize how this live stream even got started. I mean, I never was interested in doing a live stream, and I did one shortly after John's passing to kind of try to bring the community together and give us a chance to sort of share our grief, because you can't really do that in this virtual environment. And there was such a strong support for that, and desire for that to be continued, that I decided to try it another week, and then before you knew it, it was a regular thing. And I think in part the trials and tribulations of this past year have created this sort of an environment where we got close to 150 people now sitting around chatting about pipes and pipe smoking. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And I hope when we get back to normal, we can still do it, because we're still isolated in a sense. We're isolated geographically. And this is a really wonderful way to keep in touch. Oh, Preek, pipe, or skip? I assume you mean hiccups. I had to put on my glasses to make sure I was reading that right. There you go, Tim. You can always roast marshmallows. Big Dave, I occasionally smoke Mixture 79. I haven't in a while. All right, Greg Falk, thanks for joining us, buddy. There you go, Tamper Tantrum. We've never been normal. We have never been normal. You're absolutely right. Yeah, Ford, it would be interesting to know if they picked that up. And knowing YouTube, they're gonna load a bunch of ads on it now. Oh, the Night Piper wants an explanation of normal. I'm not gonna try that one. It is subjective, George. It absolutely is subjective. They already got ads on it. Amazing. Because there were not ads when I watched it at 7 o'clock tonight. All right, Bo, good appointment. Thanks so much for stopping in. Hope to see you later, and take care, Charlie. Normal is it's something I think about a lot, believe it or not, because I work in I'm a research scientist, and I work in the field of psychiatry. So I think about this, and you got somebody with a disorder like schizophrenia. It's very easy to say that person is not normal. They're seeing things that are not there. They're hearing things that no one else hears. That's abnormal. But then you get into things like autism, and sometimes people with autism, mild autism, just see the world a little differently and interact with the world a little differently. Is that abnormal, or is that different? Where does diversity stop and normalcy take over? And certainly when it comes to things like pipe smoking and how we choose to spend our free time and all that. There's an infinite number of possibilities, and yeah, one man's normal is another man's crazy. All right, Sniper Mac, sorry about your phone, but you have a good night. Thanks for joining us. Sorry, Tim, I wasn't talking to them. All right, Sarge, we're going to look forward to that. Couch is pretty normal sometimes. Well, that's saying something. Now, Couch, does Ilva think you're normal sometimes? Because I trust Ilva's judgment. Oh yeah, the pockets. You're right, Steve. He carried a lot of stuff. Good point, Couch. There I go with my anthropomorphic view of life. Informal for a godless heathen. I don't know what that's in reference to, Jeff, but I like it. Voodoo07, how you doing? Yeah, they do want you to answer, so you just want to try to ignore them as best you can. Desert Pine Piper, YTPC kilts is an excellent idea. Although we'd have to come up with the clan tartan, wouldn't we? Full key ring with 2 check tools? Wow. You're right, Michael Case, and quite a few of the saints were accused of being a little abnormal. Couch, by the way, this is really an excellent pipe. This is right up my alley. Thank you so much, buddy. Yeah, Doug, that's a good point. Reaction is sometimes a good clue to the mental state of a person. Hey, Burly Nut Bob, how you doing, buddy? All right, Everett Young, that's enough of your showing off about Canadian cold tolerance. Couch is saying I need to name this pipe XJ. Now, should I call it XJ or XJ90X or just XJ and a bunch of numbers? Oh, Steph's gonna sew the kilts. Ah, all right. What colors? We need these. We need these before the meetup at the chimney. All right, Couch. This pipe is officially named XJ and a bunch of numbers. OBX Piper, Portsmouth Piper, and Wildcat Sam. I don't think I saw you guys earlier. Maybe Ohio Piper as well. Cold in Kentucky, Wildcat Sam. Yeah. I think it's cold everywhere right now. Oh, could we use I just saw Michael Case talk about the Kentucky Club blends having a tartan. What about the Clan tartan from Clan Tobacco? Bona Piper's not going to violate the curfew. You're a wise man, Christian. Yeah, Doug, it's a 7LE, but it's branded Clafters. So I don't know. Couch, do you have any more information on this? Was Clafters the shop that had 7LE make them, or I don't know much of the history of this. Yeah, Philly Piper, it is cold here in southeastern Pennsylvania, absolutely. Hey, congratulations, Portsmouth Piper. I'll assume you don't want to announce that here. Doug, you asking me about this? Absolutely not. This was a gift from my friend Couch, and it's a 7LE. It's just not branded with a 7LE number. Bass Piper, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. I turned off my smoke detectors years ago, 16th day. Pipes and Bees, hello, my friend. Good to see you. Yeah, Tony, it's got a nice rustication. And I really like the little band here around the top, the little ring. You know, reminiscent of a bulldog ring. And yeah, that little wooden, I think it's a briar, is actually a stem adornment there. I think that's briar. Looks too dark to be boxwood. No, anyway, it's a beautiful pipe, and it smokes quite nicely. That's fantastic, Portsmouth Piper. Fantastic. Good point, Briarwood Bandit. The smoke detector could actually act as a governor on your smoking rate. So the name of the shop is Smoker Friendly in Pittsburgh, and that's the family name of the ownership. Gotcha, Couch. Thank you. Yeah, it's a very familiar name. It seems like I've associated that with pipes in some other way, so I wasn't sure if it was a shop name or not. Weather Piper says it's chilly in Texas. 7LE616 Oceano with Balkan Sasani. Very nice. Eric, blue collar pipe smoker, how you doing, buddy? Out with the family having a beer and a burger. Well, thanks for dropping in, buddy. We love you too. Two bowls of haunted bookshop and reading this fast. Yes, it is awesome. I mean, just for the record, this is about my 7th bowl for the day, so. But nicotine doesn't do much. So, Steph, let me get this straight. Whether we want a hug or not, we're going to get one. Yes, you should call them governor. There you go, Tim. Ah, good deal, Philly Piper. So Philly Piper's got some Carter Hall and Prince Albert tubs that he's willing to let go for retail price. Eric can't hear us right now, so this would be an excellent time to make fun of him if anybody would like to do that. But if you watch the replay, Eric, we love you right back. Gary Edminster is having some GLP spark plug. Patrick Grant is here from frigid New York City. Greetings, Patrick, from frigid Pennsylvania. There we go, Philly Piper. The 16th day is interested in some Carter Hall. Yeah, I think it should be Governor. You're right, Tim. All right, Sarge, thank you so much, and please give the whole community's love back to Gene and Katie for us. Have a great evening, Sarge. That Sarge is a fantastic guy. And that's something else we should keep in mind. You know, we focus in on the fact that we lost John, but John's family lost him too. So keep him in your thoughts if you're the praying type. Say a little prayer for him. Absolutely, Night Piper. Let's make it a party. So Ford, I've seen a couple guys mention the Carter Hall shortage. My understanding, and I have this on almost no authority, so take it or take it with a grain of salt. My understanding is there's no issue with Carter Hall. They're not going to be selling the pouches anymore. So if you want to buy it, you're going to have to buy a tub. And everybody went nuts because they thought it was, not being made anymore. So they bought a bunch of it and now it's out of stock. There will be more. Oh, Tunnel Take, it's my pleasure. I really appreciate you guys showing up and, giving me a chance to talk. And as I said earlier, we do this every Friday night, except next Friday because I'm taking the week off. So, please feel free to stop in any Friday. Uh-oh, Smoking the Ghost. Why are we hiring a stripper? This got out of hand really fast. George, the shop is coming slowly, very slowly. Part of the reason I'm not going to be here next Friday is I'm taking a few days off. And one of the things I'm hoping to do with that few days is get some serious work done down here because I really have to spend like 8-hour days moving things, some big stuff and clearing some space and things. So we're getting there. That's right, Texas Piper. They toilet papered the Carter Hall. Yeah, I'll see, Piper. I can only imagine what it's going to cost for a tub of Carter Hall. It's not out of hand, Chad. Okay, I trust you. Hey, Tony, if you want to take that on and do a live next Friday at this time, feel free. Yeah, Ford, I've been buying the tubs. I haven't bought a pouch in, God, forever. I've had a few pouches given to me. Carter Hall Estate is still up for sale. Becky 12. Has the price gone down at all, Steph, or has it been consistent at 16 million? Uh-oh, Night Piper broke his chair. Oh yeah, the Nimrods. I gotta tell you, hang on just a minute. I'll get my Nimrod. I don't have any fuel in it right now, but I've used it a couple days and used it a lot while I was working. It's a fine lighter. It works. I just find that it's a lot harder to draw the flame down through it than it would be with the Zippo pipe lighter. So it's not going to be my favorite lighter, but it sure is cool. I'm glad I have it. It's still 16 million, huh, Steph? Well, that's a lot. But so we had 150 some watching this at one point. So if we just divide it up amongst those folks, that's only 100,000 each, give or take. It seems more doable when you talk about it that way. And see, we got people like Paul and Ed here are willing to chip in $20, and you know, it's a start. GameStop. There you go, Texas Piper. We'll keep our eye on it. All right, bud. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You have a great weekend. You know, George, you laugh, but 100,000 is a bargain if what you get is use of a $16 million mansion. All right, Steph, Skip, thanks so much for joining us tonight. You guys have a great weekend. I'll try to catch you tomorrow. Wow, Ed, you're doubling your contribution there. We're getting there fast. Just topping off my highball with some fresh ginger ale here. An old movie called Blandings Builds His Dream House. Rob Charrett says has lots of great pipe smoking and heavy equipment. Well, that sounds like my dream movie, Rob. Strapman, whatever business you start, don't make it to have anything to do with pipe smoking. Michael Case, it's so close. Maybe you should make an offer and see. They might bite. It is fizzy, Tony. Oh yeah, we'd have a YTPC seller, Texas Piper. Absolutely. Well, Tim, the issue with the Nimrod, where did I put it? The flame really, if it's burning and you rotate it this way, you've completely blocked the flame and it goes out. So you have to really keep it this way. You might be able to tilt it like this, but that's the issue. There's so much metal surrounding the wick that any way you move this, it's occluding the flame. So you kind of have to hold it straight up and down, and then you have to pull it straight down, and it just doesn't work as well as the Zippo. But I'm not saying they're lousy or anything. I like it. I'm really glad I have it. It's just not. I wouldn't want this to be my only lighter. Jimmy, you making fun of my shaved head? Yes, I have embraced it. If you're referring to mine, and I love it. I'm so glad I don't have to go to a barber anymore. All right, George, you have a good weekend too. Thanks for joining us tonight. All right, another vote from Mr. Blandings builds his dream house. Thank you, Doug. I'm going to look that up. That really sounds like a hit. Night Ford, thanks for joining us, buddy. Yeah, Jimmy, so you're going straight down to skin? I actually have some fuzz that I keep. So I'm using wall clippers with a number 2. And it's kind of silly because if my hair was dark, you might be able to notice, but since it's essentially white now because I'm an old man, uh, that you don't see it really. So I probably should just go ahead and shave it completely. And I hear those skull shavers work really well. Where's the guy who won the 700 million in the lottery? I don't know, Michael. Cary Grant is awesome in that movie, Peter. Well, I'm definitely going to look it up. All right, Ron, you have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us tonight. Oh, North by Northwest was a great movie, Patrick Grant. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I've emptied my bowl again. I'm going to switch back over to the Matches tribute pipe. Yes, Ed, I do have hair. That's saying something. And that might be why I don't want to shave it all the way down. Simplex 1, good night, my friend. Good night, the one Simplex 1. All right, Night Piper. Thank you much, buddy. You have a great weekend. What would the YTPC blend consist of? That's a good question because we're never going to agree on it. What was Cary Grant's blend? Mark, doesn't Kramer's have a Cary Grant blend? Could be wrong about that. Oh, Ron H is saying that Kramer's does have one. Smoking the Ghost is putting in a vote for not making it Carter Hall. Haunted PC. I don't know, Ed. Sounds like some sort of a political joke. Yeah, I think it is. I think the Cary Grant blend is in English. I think the Danny Kaye blend has a bit of Latake and it's a lighter, much lighter English. But see, I wouldn't be able to enjoy it if it was in English, so that's where we're going to run into trouble because I'm betting about half the community would want it to be an English blend and the other half wouldn't. And so maybe we could have two. There you go, Jim. How is the end of the road treating you? Is that has that lived up to the hype? Yeah, Mark, there were such great classic pipe smokers. I mean, we could do an entire. Oh, is Chad taking off? See you, Chad. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Lee Van Cleef smoked Philosopher. Well, Ed, that's good enough for me. I think I think we should make it Philosopher. It's good stuff, Jim. Glad to hear it. My 2020 blend that I talked about a couple weeks ago really is nice as well. Yeah, Edward G. Robinson had his own blend, Steve, and that was actually out of production for a while. Jim, I can't remember Jim's last name, but he goes by Jim Inks on some of the pipe smoking forums. He actually lobbied to have Edward G. Robinson reintroduced, and it was successful. All right, Piper on the 45. Have a good nap. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend. William Conrad and Charles Bronson, both pipe smokers. Oh, if you could try a blend from the past, what would it be? That's a great question, Backcountry Pipe. There's two that I think I'd like to try, if I'm allowed to say two. The number one for me would be I'd like to try the original Three Nuns. I've always wanted to try that. I just there's all this controversy about whether or not it had perique in it and all that. I just would love to try that. Um, the other one, I'd like to try the original Revelation. I've never had a chance to try that. I have had the matches, but never the original. So those would be the two that I would pick. So Gary Edminster saying Flying Dutchman, Tony 513 Sugar Barrel and Walnut. Hickory, yeah, I'd like to try Hickory too. Orlick Brown Slice again, huh? Briarwood Bandits putting in another vote for the original Sugar Barrel. The Lucky Strike half and half. Jeffrey Feinberg. Good night, my friend. Thanks for stopping in. Have a great weekend. Three Nuns reminds Jim of a story. I don't think we should tell that story, Jim. Dude Rustica, how you doing, Steve? Did Steve miss anything? We've just been sitting here silently waiting for you. Rob Charrett is saying Frogmorton, yeah. Backcountry Pipes is putting in a vote for the LL Bean blend. That's another interesting one, yeah. Patrick Grant, the original Balkan Sobrani 965. And the original Three Nuns, yeah. Those would both be worthwhile. Stratman is asking, what is coffee's favorite blend? Meaning, what blend goes best with coffee? Doug is saying the Arcadia mixture from Craven around 1900, and he's saying the original Three Nuns definitely had Perique in it. Yeah, I think they then moved to some sort of a Perique flavoring. Um, the history is actually pretty complicated. Doug, you probably know it better than I do. Bacon Old Fashioned should be the initiatory smoke for the YTPC. I think we'd become smaller if we did that, Kevin. Blend that had Uncle Sam on the label. I don't know, Tony. Yes, Josh, I tried them both. So Josh Langevin sent me some vintage Carter Hall, and was it plum cake, Josh? I'm trying to remember what the other one was. Um, and I rehydrated the Carter Hall. It was quite good. And I really enjoyed it. And the plum cake was quite nice as well. I smoked them. They're gone. Yeah, Granger does go great with coffee. I think any Burley goes great with coffee. That would be interesting, backcountry pipe. Union Leader, that's a good one. Gary Edminster. That was Boris Karloff's smoke. Takio Kimura, thank you so much, my friend. All going well here. I hope you're good. Yeah, dude, Rustica, I think you burned your tongue out with all that Rustica you're smoking. I don't know. I saw you and Everett agreeing on Bacon Old Fashioned today on Instagram, and I didn't even bother to comment. Yeah, Patrick Grant, I think it actually uses Dark Fired Kentucky instead of the Perique in the current Three Nuns. But you can get the Three Nuns Green, which has Perique in it. All right, Rob Charrett's a union leader. Good to know, Rob. Forty-year-old half and half from an unopened tin. Wow, that sounds good, backcountry pipe. 2 a.m. pipe on the patio. How you doing, Onion? Brad Sims, hello. Having some spark plug. Not to be confused with Smark plug. Hey, Kilted Piper Steve, you have a good evening, my friend. Give our best to Kathy, and you have a great weekend. Ah, Brad Sims, it's your fault then, huh? I saw Tony 513 and 16th Day talking about Ready Rubbed. And Tony, I guess you're wanting to try the Edgeworth, the original Edgeworth. I've had them both, and I've actually smoked them side by side, and they're pretty darn close. The new Lane Limited Ready Rubbed and the original Edgeworth, at least the sample that I had. Yeah, that McBaron plum cake, Michael. It's you really got to let that stuff air out. But I've had it fresh from the tin, and I got to admit I don't like it at all. It's not. It's got some latakia in it. I'm not real happy with latakia in general. But this stuff that Josh sent me, which was a couple years old, I can't remember exactly how old. It was actually pretty pleasant to smoke, and it was a bit dry. And I like my tobacco a bit dry. Levi Bennett, have a good walk with the dog, and thank you so much for joining us. Have a great weekend, my friend. Ah, I see, Doug. So that Galleth's Cabby mixture was very similar to the original. I have had that. I wish I could get that more easily. Yeah, Josh, I did try the vintage Carter Hall. In fact, I smoked it all. It was very good. Gary Edmonster's happy with Captain Black. I'm glad somebody is, Gary. Just kidding. Takio didn't like the M4 Burley. Thin and vaporous. I enjoyed it, but maybe it does need to dry a bit for you. All right, Texas Piper, thank you so much for joining us. You have a great weekend too, my friend. Yeah, Tony 513. The great thing about Carter Hall is that it's very, very consistent over the years. So I would say it was the same. It was aged. Aging doesn't really do a lot to Burley, but there was enough Virginia in it that, yeah, it seemed a bit sweet, a bit sweeter. And of course, the topping was less prominent. But it was good. It was very good and very comparable to modern Carter Hall. Ah, so the other vintage was Kentucky Club. Yes, yes. And again, Josh, I smoked them all. Uh, so yeah, that was good as well. I'm trying to remember. I know I smoked the Kentucky Club. I'm trying to remember if there were any impressions I had of that were different from uh, you know other Kentucky Club I've had. Big Dave, I don't think we're going to be seeing Sugar Barrel made again. I just don't think it's going to happen. So Doug Owen, if you're still out there, how is everything in your neck of the woods? Current favorite Burley is Cornell and Deal Dark Burley Bulk. 70s Prince Albert? Dust and rust, yeah. That's one of the problems with those tins. That was DDT 0889. Aussie E. Piper, I have unopened tubs of Carter Hall that I've had for at least 7 or 8 years, and they're fine. I opened one, I don't know, about 6 months ago, and it was like I had just bought it. So they usually come wrapped in plastic, and as long as that plastic is there, I don't think you have to worry about it. And even after you open them, they last. I mean, there's something. Carter Hall, Matches referred to it once as the Twinkie of tobaccos. You know, I've had Carter Hall that has been left in my car in a little pouch or a baggie for months on end, and I take it out and it's just ready to smoke. Yeah, Doug, I'll keep an eye out for it, but the cabbies, it's really good stuff. But I hate chasing those blends. It would outlast a nuclear winter. Gary Edminster is talking about videos of guys smoking cigarettes from World War II. Steve Norse, who owns Vermont Freehand, he really likes these vintage cigarettes that they come in a can. It's really kind of cool, and you know the top snaps off. It's like a vacuum sealed can, and every once in a while he'll post a picture of he just opened up a new can of them. I can't remember what they're called, but every time he shows them, he says, "These are not for sale. I'm not giving them to anyone. These are mine." So he's pretty protective about them. Let's see, we're at 9:30. Still got 85 folks out there though. Chip, thanks for joining us, buddy. You have a good evening and a great weekend. I still got a long way to go with this. Should we keep going for another 15 minutes or so? One more bowl's worth. Takio, you taking off too? If so, you have a great weekend, my friend. Aussie Piper, thanks for joining us, Mick. You take care. We'll talk soon. Paul the Piper wants to go to midnight. Ah, okay. Glad to hear it, Doug. Glad to hear you're busy. I know it's been a rough haul for you guys. Gotcha, Takio. And guys, we are going to try to have Doug join us for a live stream, probably sometime in the spring or early summer. We've tried a few times, and Doug's very interested, but it's just been issues with his business, and it gets very busy over the holidays and all that. So we're hoping sometime in the not too distant future we'll have Doug Owen on. On the 8th day, the Lord made hockey? All right, Tim. I think Bona Piper will agree with you on that. Hey, Bear Ninny, hello, and thanks for joining us. Wildcat Sam, happy 44th birthday, my friend. That's fantastic. Thanks for sharing it with us. All right, Corvette Jim, thanks for joining us, buddy. You have a great weekend. Yeah, 44 is young. I remember wishing I was 30 again, and now I'm wishing I was 44 again. At this point, I'd be happy to be 50 again. Handsome brothers. Absolutely, Wildcat Sam. We'll smoke one for you. State Express 555. Yeah, these are the ones that Steve smokes are definitely non-filtered. State Express doesn't. Maybe that's right. I can't remember the name at all, Doug. Oh, very cool, Josh. Sealed packet from an antique shop called 5 Essex Junction, Vermont. Very nice. Takio was number 44 when he played football. Offensive line? See, abnormal. Azazel, a bowl of ice cream is just fine. It's a bowl, right? Yeah, Armchair Piper, I know. Sounds good, Doug. I'm really looking forward to that. Matcha ice cream. Yeah, that's good stuff, Briarwood Bandit. Oh, Tim, that's great. 9-year-old wants to smoke pipes with you. That's really great. Hey, Kirk from Florida. You signing off, buddy? If so, you have a great evening. Thanks for joining us, and have a good weekend. 67 Dodge Dart convertible. Wow. I can tell you a funny story about was it 65 Mustang? I always get this confused. So I think 65 was the first year that they were sold, but they were actually made in 64. So there's some that have a 64 date. I don't remember that. But I've always wanted a 66 Mustang because that's the year I was born. And I like Mustangs from that era. You know, when I was a kid, I had an aunt actually who had a probably like a 70 something Mustang. And I just liked them. So I thought, you know, getting a birth year Mustang would be really cool. And, you know, I know it's something I'm going to be constantly working on and rarely driving, but it's just something I wanted. But they're ridiculously expensive and, you know, hard to justify. So my nephew, who lives up in Vermont, told my sister, his mother, that he found a 64 Mustang for sale in one of the used car lots for like $4,000 or something like that. And, you know, so if this really is a 64, so 64 was the first Mustang. Thank you, DDT. So, oh, 64 and a half. Yeah, that's why it gets confusing. So anyway, so he said he found a 64 Mustang for like $4,000, $6,000, something like that. And I was thinking, oh, I'm going to get in the car and drive up to Vermont and I'm going to buy this, even if I have to put it on a trailer to bring it back home. So we took pictures of the car. It was a Thunderbird. How he got translated into Mustang, I'll never know. But there was a couple hours there where I was really excited and really happy. So 64 and a half, that was the year that it came out as a concept car, and they made like a couple thousand and they immediately sold out. And then they went into the 65 season, I'm guessing. Hey, Pipes, etc. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, Tony 513, they don't look very similar, do they? Oh, that's cool, Gary. Learned to shoot pool with your dad in the 60s. That's very cool. Glad to hear it, Jeff. Everett's going to be 46 this year. Still a spring chicken there, Everett. Was funny. Last Saturday night, I was on the Rambling Dilettantes live stream. Chris has a live stream every Saturday night. I forget what time it starts, but it's a lot of fun. It only, I've been really enjoying these small live streams, and I feel a little bit bad saying that because I still got 75 folks watching me here, even though I'm uh, going on like 10 minutes over. And I'm really happy that I got that many folks watching me. But sometimes when you're viewing the live stream, it's more fun to be there with just like 10 or 12 guys. It's more interactive. You have more of a conversation. And so I was on this live stream that Chris, the Rambling Dilettante, had, and I forget who I was talking to, but we got to talking about being old in the chat, and we're like comparing notes on what it was like growing up, and it got to the point where it was just this typical old man stuff about walking uphill both ways to school and all that nonsense. It was pretty funny, and Chris was a little miffed by the fact that we were shifting the demographic of his viewership to the old end of things. Briarwood Bandit 22, wow. 25, 31. Yeah, we got some kids out there. Thank you, Gary. Shamrock Piper 47. Tim, I do the same. Double Edged Blade and mug soap. I don't do it all that often anymore, but that's how I shave. Yeah, Big Dave, I'm coming up fast on 55. Takio was usually garage. That's funny. Yeah, Tim, I got to admit I've never had the courage to use a straight edge. I'd like to, but I'm just certain I'm going to cut myself. Dude, Rustica, you're timeless, my friend. Big Dave's a little bit older than me. That's okay, Dave. We're close enough. So some of you guys that are in the 55 and up age range will appreciate this. I really get a kick out of watching some of the younger guys, the 20-year-old, 30-year-old guys, finding their birth year pipes, and they're like really excited that they found this birth year pipe, and then they say the year, and I realized that I was smoking pipes at that time. It's a little depressing, to be honest. Rob, I'm a little shaky. Is that the camera moving? Might have been. I had my foot on the table. Sorry about that. DDT, that's a good way to go. Trim your beard when it's hazardous. '63 on Sunday. Well, happy birthday in advance, Pipes, etc. Lefty 68. That sounds like it would be a terrible waste of autumn evening. But I do like the idea of maple bacon. Boris the Piper. I don't think I saw you earlier, Boris. And Tony wants to know if we want to age like milk or wine. Sweet like wine or sour like milk? Monty 53, I agree with you. Hey, soapbox, that's terrible. Oh, Takio, your son's starting to smoke a pipe. That's great. See, smoke pipe. How you doing, Eric? Good to see you, buddy. So do you guys think I should try a straight razor, or am I going to wind up cutting my head off? You're whippersnapper. I haven't heard that for a long time, Jeff. You have been, Boris. I'm so sorry. I missed you. I missed you, unless you've been lurking. Oh, Ed, you lucked out on the birth year. Oh, that's great. Josh, there's some pipes that are really easy to date. I mean, some of them actually have the date on them, the year that they were made. So that's how you do it pretty much. And you look on eBay and places like that. Takio, I think the pipe is better than just about anything else you can smoke. Yes, DDT, I remember switchblade combs. I had one when I was in school, and one of the nuns took it away from me. Voodoo was born smoking a pipe. Very good. Good point there, Barn Ninny. How bad could it be? He tried a straight razor as commonly seen on gravestones. Takio. Yeah, the Dunhills are pretty easy to date. So thank you for that, Ed. All right, dude Rustic, I'll keep that in mind. No, it was just one nun smoking the ghost. Gary shaves with an axe. That's a man. Yes, Big Dave, I do remember those pens. They were kind of odd. They had, it wasn't a picture, it was a painting or a drawing of a girl. And when you turned it upside down, the bathing suit came off. Yeah. Yeah, DDT. I'm not part Scottish. I'm part Irish, but a lot of my pipes are older than me. I just like them. That's nice, Brad. It's nice that you got that family connection. I never. There were cigarette smokers in my family. My dad is a well, he was a cigarette smoker. He's still with us, but he stopped smoking a long time ago. My grandfather, my maternal grandfather, was vehemently opposed to smoking, and I had aunts and uncles that smoked, and he used to just hate that. He would constantly say things like you might as well roll money up and burn it and stuff like that. No, Big Dave, I never took those to school. Ah, we got some Irish folks in the crowd, huh? Backcountry Pipe, thank you so much for joining us. You have a great weekend, my friend. Hope to see you soon. Vargas Girls in Esquire. They were drawings, weren't they, Michael? My dad had a subscription to Esquire when I was a kid, and I used to enjoy flipping through that. See, Smoke Pipes is going to be watching season 6 of Vikings. I'll have to take a look at that, Eric. I'm not familiar with it. Yeah, Pipes, etc. I think quite a few folks did watch John's last live stream. I did. And we talked about that quite a bit at the beginning. Just kind of reminiscing a bit about John and what he meant to us, that sort of thing. Takio pre-1920 K Woody. Very nice. Voodoo, I don't even want to think about that. 2513, yeah, Sears catalogs. Yeah, Takio, speaking of that pre-1920s, the pipe I just finished, and I'm in the process of editing all the video, but it was actually made somewhere between 1885 and I think like 1910. So it was really cool working on it. It's 100 years old at least, and it was quite an interesting experience to work on a pipe that old. So I hope you'll enjoy that video series once I get it all edited and posted. I can't speak for Cosmo, but Esquire actually did have some reasonable articles in it. I mean, I remember, this is going to sound silly, but I remember going to a barber when I was in high school, and he had Playboy, stack of Playboy magazines in the waiting room. And, of course, I'm in high school, I'm going to look at them. But there's only so much of that you can do when you're sitting there in a public place. You're not going to be And so I would like kind of cautiously flip through and eye up the girls and then continue to flip. And there was some really good stuff in those magazines. Those Playboy in its time was a really fantastic magazine. And it's kind of cliche to say I read it for the articles, and I don't read it, and I haven't other than that time in the barber shop. But yeah, there was some good writing in there. Okay, Tim Fournier, I'm just going to take your word for that. Ed read it for the articles too. All right, Ed, you and I both were reading the same literature then. Oh, Sea Smoke. I used to go to a barber in Pittsburgh who he was pretty old. He was I don't know how old he was, but he looked like he was about 70 years old. And I think I've talked about him before. He gave great haircuts. It was really cheap. It was like $5 and I got my haircut. And he had a shop vac and he'd vacuum your head after he cut your hair. And that was great because I was working and I would like go at lunchtime and he'd vacuum my head and I can go back to work. Uh, he was really crowded one day and I came in and I was waiting and I was waiting and looking at my watch and stuff and he turned to me and said, "Don't worry, my dad is going to be up in a minute and he'll take care of you." And this guy looked like he was in his 70s and in shuffled this very old man. And I mean, he shuffled. He didn't walk in. And in a very very thin voice said, "Come on, you're next." And I was kind of terrified because he was shaking the whole time, and pointy scissors and all that. Gave me a great haircut. Didn't no bloodletting or anything. But when he said my dad'll be in, I have to admit I panicked a bit. Is that true, Michael Case? Hefner started out writing for Esquire. I did not know that. If you're asking me, Patches Seller, I'm sure I can. I've restored many pipes to smoking shape, and 65 Dunhill is certainly within reason. Thelonious Monk, yeah. Thelonious Monk is one of those musicians where you either get him or you don't, but once you get him, he's it's amazing. Dave Brubeck is another. Well, Paul, get yourself some wall clippers and you can cut your own hair. Oh, Lefty 68, that's funny. I don't know if Dave Brubeck was from Stockton, Steve. I don't know. I got to see Brubeck live the year before he died in Montreal. It's a great concert. Portsmouth Piper, I'd be happy to help you with that. Anybody that, I'm sorry, I'm doing an ad here, but if you do have pipes that you want me to take a look at or want me to try to repair, send me an email, canerodpiper@gmail.com, or go to my website, CaneRodPipes.com, and I'll do what I can to help you out. Yeah, Monk isn't everybody's cup of tea, but you're right. He was a genius, and again, once you get him, and sometimes it takes a while to get him. Oh, sorry, I kicked the table again. There's a really fantastic album that is, it's a live album, Thelonious Monk with, oh, darn it, I'm blanking on the name. Really famous saxophonist. Coltrane. Gotta be one of the best albums I ever heard. I mean, if I could only have one album to listen to, without a doubt, it would be that album. From jazz, there's classical music that I wouldn't want. Paul wants a Matches 860 Piper or the same make if I can. So you're talking about the 7LE, what is it? I always get the numbers mixed up. 676? Paul? Oh, those Playboy clubs were... Boy, we'll never see those again, Voodoo. I miss Doug. I miss Doug's joke. Okay, Doug, I caught it. Have a good night, Doug. Thanks for joining us tonight. I don't think it was the quintet, Barnini, but I could be wrong. I'll have to look it up and let you know. No, Paul, I don't have any pipes for sale. I occasionally restore one that I sell, but I haven't done that in quite a while. Oh, Takio, that's really cool. Mom sang for Pete Fountain in New Orleans, and Al Hurt was a very good friend of his dad. Wow. Patrick Grant, good night. Thanks for joining us, my friend. You have a great weekend. Yeah, that is really cool, Takio. Hey, Takio, would you consider being interviewed sometime on the live stream? You seem to be a really interesting guy. I think a lot of people would enjoy that. You don't have to answer now. I don't mean to put you on the spot. But think about it. Gloria Steinem was a Playboy bunny. That's funny. This pipe is done, guys. And we've gone more than a half an hour over, which I guess is appropriate given what we were commemorating tonight. Oh, Takio, fantastic. Well, send me an email at canerodpiper@gmail.com and we'll talk. We'll find a date that we can do that. That would be great. All right, Sea Smokes. Thank you for joining us, Eric. You have a great weekend. I agree, Sailor. Barbara Walters was a Playboy bunny? This is starting to seem like we're making stuff up. I believe you, Tony. It just seems very unlikely. JMZ56, you have a great weekend too. Holding on to the fold out. See ya, Doug. Deborah Harry as well? Wow. I don't know what this means, guys, but we seem to know an awful lot about who was in Playboy. I didn't know what we were going to talk about tonight, but I did not think we'd be talking about this. A Playboy kangaroo. Well, folks, my drink is done. I finished up my last pipe, so I think we're going to call this to an end. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Thanks for taking the time to remember our friend John, and I think we did a good job of it. I think it's exactly what he would have wanted. He'd want this community to continue to be strong and to gather like this and just have some fun and chat about whatever is on our minds. So let's keep doing that. As I said, I'm going to take off next Friday, so there won't be a live stream here. If somebody else wants to do a live stream at 8 o'clock next Friday, please do. And if you let me know, I'd be happy to promote that for you. Just drop me a line and I'll put a post up to let folks know that you're doing it. The following week it will be me again solo, so we'll have another virtual pipe club, and then after that I can't remember. We got guest lineup after that. We'll talk about that in a couple weeks time. So thank you all. As always, it's been the highlight of my week. I really enjoy this, and I thank every one of you for joining me. Y'all take care, and we will meet again very soon.